Alright guys, tonight we are going to take a look at the DLC that just came out Friday. This is the JCB Fastrac pack. Includes two JCB Fastrac tractors that are supposedly a little faster than the other tractors. They're more car-ish. Then we also have a JCB heavy front-end loader and a JCB telehandler. And then we have our little skid steer here, or I forget what you call it. I call them skid steers, but it's a Power Boom JCB 260 Eco. It's a little monster truck. I love these things. To me, this is really what makes the pack worthwhile, though. It may not be super functional for the game. We'll find out. But you know, when you see unique stuff like this, to me, it's like this kind of content is great. It's made, obviously, by Giant Software. Now, I skipped the ITC runner because I felt like $10 was a little steep to pay for a couple new trailers. Like, it's kind of like, oh boy, that's a lot of money for something that is already included pretty much in the game and pretty well covered, aside from the interchangeability portion. But okay, whatever. Save a little money and buy this kit, because I feel like this is a lot more functional. To me, this is totally worth $10 to get 5 tractors. That's like $2 a tractor. So if we look at like World of Tanks economics, each of these tractors would have cost, you know, anywhere from $5 to $20. So this is a good deal in my opinion. So what we're going to take a look at, we're going to look at each piece of equipment and what they do, how they get dirty, the things that function with them, and kind of talk about where they stand as far as functionality in the game, and are they worth it. So let's start over here with the little less exciting stuff. We're going to start with the tractors. The Fastrac 3230. This is I believe it's a 240 horsepower or 230 horsepower, but we'll go in and check the stats. Now, first thing I noticed about this mod, instead of showing up under the mods category, this shows up under the regular tractors. But the weird thing is the JCBs show up all the way at the end of the list. So it's hard to compare them to the tractors that are actually around them. Yes, so 230 horsepower, $170 a day, which is kind of expensive. It's in the middle, but that's a decent amount of horsepower for the price at $189,000. Well, let's take a look. 230 horsepower, keep that in mind. We have the Lambo that is 195,000. Once again, we're at 189. So 7,000 more and you're 10 horsepower less. Same maintenance cost per day. This guy's 172, so he's cheaper, but he has almost 30 less horsepower. To step up from that, to get 263, now we're moving into the $230,000 range. So I would say that this tractor power-wise obviously falls between these two, but the cost is between these two. That's kind of nice. So there's an economics here. You're getting a little more horsepower for a little bit less money. So hold on one second. So I found that an easier way to find the JCB stuff is to go under brands and go in here. One of the other things that you're going to notice if you have multiple computers, now I did this through Steam. I don't know what it's going to be for those of you that are not Steam people, but this mod does not show up in the mods folder. So each time I log on to a Steam account, I'm going to have to download this mod. It does it automatically, no big deal. But I've noticed that's going to make it difficult. I will not be able to add it to my server. That kind of sucks. So this is going to be fun for your local farm, but if you're trying to throw up a server, everybody that is going to be on there has to own it, and the person that is running the server also has to own it. So let's take a ride in this guy. First of all, we'll take a look at the functionality. There's our beacon. Has a single beacon on the upper left. I like that. Has a single reverse light. I like that. That's cool. It's different than the other tractors. It's a good-looking tractor. Let's go ahead and turn the lights on. Oops, wrong button. There we go. There's our normal headlights. No tails. There's the tail light setup with the headlights. So once again, doesn't really have a brights on the front. Got those nice reverse lights. Let's try the blinkers. There's our regular blinkers. Looks great. It's just a great looking nice. This is a very, very nice mod. Alright, so let's look around the cabin. All the controls and functions. Obviously nothing works. Got mirrors. It's cool. Whatever. I'm going to turn the flashers off. And let's go ahead and drive out. Now, supposedly these can go a little bit faster than the tractor. I'm seeing on the right there that we can hit about 44 miles an hour. Takes a little while to get up there. Of course, we're going uphill. Look at that. Real nice. One of the things that they also touted was that this has better handling than the tractors that are out there. So let's, okay, looks like we've hit the top speed at 43 miles an hour. So it's about 3 or 4 miles an hour faster than most of the other tractors in the game. And that's really, honestly, I mean, who's going to be going faster than that in a tractor? I mean, yeah, look at that. No sliding whatsoever. Much better traction, you know. Handles real nice, jumps right back in. That's something that you can't do in the regular tractors. Now, there's no trailer attached. We can attach a trailer in a second here and try it out. So I'm going to drive back to the shop, and I will meet you back there. We're going to match it up with maximum horsepower. I could put this horse on it, but the requirements are 400 horsepower. I think that's not a fair test. This one's 250. That's still too much. So let's shoot for the Vogel Newt Soil Solutions. We'll grab this guy. That's got a 220 horsepower requirement, so we should be able to pull this with no problem. And then what you're going to do is, as we look at the next tractor, we'll send this guy out to do some seeding so that we get him dirty. We want the tractors to get dirty so that we can see what they look like. So I want to drive this down here. We have the Hill of Death over on field number, oh, I don't remember which one. I think this is field 11. Yeah, field 11 is the Hill of Death. A very steep grade to have to... I would hope you're not cultivating anything steeper than that, and if you are, you're running alongside it rather than straight up it. But pretty good frame rates all the way around. I am a little bit getting stuttery here with the wheat and stuff, but that's just my computer that does that with everything in the game, so it's not a surprise that it's doing that a little bit. So let's go ahead and hire a worker. Let's see if he can get this guy pulled up the hill. Yep. We're getting to the steepest part. This tractor has the horsepower to get it up. We're not going fast, but, you know, honestly, cultivating at 5 miles an hour is not bad. So the 230 horsepower, as advertised, is 230 horsepower. So let's go ahead and get this guy hooked up with a small Vaderstat seeder, and I'm going to set him working, and we will come back in a second here and start looking at the next tractor. Okay, we've picked up the Vaderstat seeder, the smaller one. That was a download from the website. You can get that one for free. This Vaderstat is part of a Vaderstat pack, and a very nicely done mod. That is a free DLC on the Farming Sim website. I would recommend that you, every couple of weeks, I recommend that you check out farming-simulator.com, the main site for this game, because a lot of times they post some really high quality mods, and this is one of them. This Vaderstat smaller seeder. If you got a small farm or a tight farm and it's the big Vaderstat's too much, this is one of those that it still does not require a cultivator, but yet it does a great job seeding. So you can seed and cultivate in one step, and it's only like $30,000. So it's a cheaper alternative to the big Vaderstat. Now, of course, it takes a lot longer because it's still half the size, but it works. So let's go ahead and set this guy planting some wheat, and we're going to let him run for quite a while, and we'll come back and check on him and see how he's doing. And he should be all covered with dirt when we're done. I want to just see how these tractors get mussed up. So we'll be back. All right, we jump up a size to the 320 horsepower Fastrac 8310 model. Great looking model, big husky tractor. Reminds me of the Fendt tractors that are out there. Once again, I think this has about the same top speed. You're looking at about 43, 44 kilometers or miles per hour, and gives you a lot more horsepower. Just a great looking model. Let's hop in, look around a little bit, and then we'll talk about it as far as it falls in the price scheme of things. Ah, this is huge, man. Look at my little guy in there. This is a big tractor. Oh, so cool. Wow. Still got a little crappy horn, though. All right, so we got the beacons going. Really, no frame rate slows down. Nice glossy windows. Just all around looking like a great tractor. Let's check out the lights. Yeah, same deal. Of course, being the same company, the lights layout's going to be the same. This time, the reverse light's on the opposite side, though. Brake lights, hazards, blinkers, what have you. The second stage lights, everything's off. So on, off. Cool. Turn the little hazards off. Hop in and look around the cockpit. Now, of course, this one looks different inside. Though a lot of this is the same. This is a little different looking, too. Great looking. But, you know, the view out the front's a little bit different. So let's go ahead and accelerate up to speed. This one definitely accelerates a little bit faster. Though it does still kind of feel like we're setting a land speed record. Warp 6. Warp 7. I've given her all she's got. Yeah, 43 miles an hour. So top speed has been achieved. Same thing. Doesn't really spin around too much. I'm imagining if we put weight on the back, we will start having some issues sliding. This one has the big mirror that shows you right what's behind the tractor. I wish you could adjust these mirrors. I'm sure there's a mod out there that would let you adjust them a little bit, but right now they kind of just show you grass. Everybody has a way they like to set up their mirrors. This one is not set up the way that I like to set my mirrors up. So, yeah, great looking inside. Got the second seat just like the other one, but much more space in this tractor. This feels just huge. All right, so nice, very nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab, in this case, well, let's look at the price comparison first. So looking at the tractors, this guy's going to run you $245,000, 270 days, $270 a day to maintain. That's not bad considering how big it is. And price-wise, though, it doesn't really do much for us. Once again, 310 horsepower. So what's up, Mater? You're going to fall between this guy at 320 and this dude at 263. Now, he's 229, he's 254. Once again, 245. So you really are paying pretty much in a direct line for horsepower here. For 24 or $245,000, you can have 310. For 254, which is $9,000 more, you can add an additional 10 horsepower for the New Holland tractor. However, I believe, and let's take a look here. In fact, we'll buy the New Holland too, and I'll show you this side by side. You're going to see where this differs, I believe. Now, I could be totally off base about this, but here. As you know, with these bigger tractors, you have to buy a weight or an adapter to fit these trailers. So let's see if this guy can fit these trailers. Oh, look at that. Doesn't look that pretty, but it works. So I can pull this trailer with this tractor, and I could hook up a bunch of these and make a little train. Now let's hop into the competitor here. Notice how the motors sound totally different. Love it. It's one of the things I like about this DLC. It's got new sounds and everything, so it's, you know, you're getting a lot for your money. Nope. Can't do it. You have to buy a weight or you have to buy an adapter. So this tractor will not pull the green trailer, but our mod tractor will. So the DLC, the JCB 8310, has another advantage over its competitor, the 320. And that is that we can pull all trailer types. Now, let's go ahead and grab a big cultivator. So we're looking at 310 horsepower. Theoretically, we have this one requires 300, and this one requires, we'll do this guy, the Gigant. So this is the biggest cultivator we can pull with this. And with that 300 horsepower, we're just 10 horsepower over that. So we should theoretically be able to pull this cultivator up the hill of death while working. Up the hill of death. Up the hill of death. So let's go to the hill of death. The hill of death. Here's a good opportunity too. We'll get it up to full speed and make a hard turn and see if we can get this baby to spin out. Here we go. Making the turn. 3, 2, and 1. Oh. Yeah, well, at least he righted himself. But yeah, you turn a tractor at 40 miles an hour with a big piece of equipment on the back, and that is expected. So we're waiting for our other tractor. He is not dirty one bit. I'm waiting for him to clear the trail here. And we'll go ahead and hire a worker on this guy, and let's see what happens. So, can we make it up the hill of death without going into a spin? Or sliding out, running out of horsepower? Yes, we can. Most impressive. Whoops. All right. So, yeah, we've got the horsepower. So let's go ahead and I'm going to set this guy seating so we can see how he looks when he's dirty, and we will go ahead and start looking at our other pieces or types of equipment. But so far, I'm impressed. All right, so our next manner of business is the huge front end loader. Now, one of the things that I've found, and a little bit of testing that I've done, is that you cannot use the JCB. All this equipment is for the skid steer. None of that, the log grappler, which is I'm real excited about, and this giant silage scoop is pretty cool too. That could be very useful on your farm. Once again, these are nice. The forks, they're nice and long. That looks deadly. And then your scooper. None of those work with either of these guys. You have to actually use the in-game stuff. So if you go into here and you're going to go to wheel loaders, and you can grab any of the stuff that's already in the game. So you've got your log fork, you've got your universal bucket, which is what we're going for, and then of course our JCB shows up here. In fact, while we're in here, let's just take a look at the price analysis. Our Liebherr has 156 horsepower. It's $120 a day to maintain. Costs $165. The JCB is a little bit more expensive. It's a larger piece of equipment with 230 horsepower, $110 a day to maintain. So it's a little cheaper to maintain. Horsepower for horsepower, I'm not sure that it really is, the 435S is really going to get you much, but yeah, it's cool. Maybe they fixed that arm thing. I don't know if you guys remember from watching my other videos. The Liebherr has a screwed up arm that will twist as you use it, and then you have to reset it to your barn. Boy, listen to that. Hang on, let's hop that in again. Listen to the startup sound. Oh, that's real smooth sounding. Awesome. This thing is really cool. Big backup beeper. Let's hear the horn. Same crappy little horn. Lights. Yeah. There they are. It's got lights. Tail lights. There we go. Flashers. Forward, reverse. Pretty cool. Alright. So we're going to grab the scooper. Once again, it's got the funky camera issues. And voila. And while I'm doing this, Seth, see if you can start a connect to our server. I think Jared's going on. He's trying to get on there. See if you can get on. Now, one of the things that I think is cool is this one actually has a working trailer hasp. There you go. Look at that. Boop. So you can pull a trailer with you if you're going to go work and use this thing and scoop. This is cool because you're attached. All right, so now I don't know why you do this manually, but you can scoop your potatoes. I think you can scoop them from here. Yeah. Fill the bucket up with taters. Look at all them taters. Now, this would, unfortunately, because now Seth and I did some testing in the interim while we started the tractors running, doing their work. And unfortunately, he is logged in on a computer that I already use. I've already logged in and used these on there, and he cannot access them. So every single person that is going to, if you're going to put this on your server, every person that's going to use this is going to have their own copy. that kind of sucks. It totally sucks. So I understand why they do it, because obviously they don't want you sharing these files with everybody. But that kind of sucks. So like he's sitting on a computer that already has the files on it, but he can't use it with his account. So I get it. I get it.
Dad, I don't see why he's having problems.
You're on? Did you get on? See if you can like track her around and stuff without having any issues. Whoops. We're having some issues on our server when somebody's trying to log in from Canada, and usually they're able to get in and have no problems, and they're having issues. So yeah, this works really nicely. Let's go ahead and take a look inside the cockpit and see if I'm able to do this. Ooh, yeah, look at the gauges and stuff. That's really cool. Got some heating and cooling stuff. Very simple interior. The joystick. Actually, much simpler than I would have thought for one of these machines, but there you have it. A lot of mirrors to see what's behind you. Of course, these tractors are always going forward and backing up, so it's probably pretty important that you safety first, you know.
I'm running perfectly fine. I don't know.
It's kind of weird. I can only, because I'm using the joystick, you can only do 2 commands at once, so it's probably you have to just get in there straight. But ta-da! All right, so this is a great piece of equipment. I love the fact that it can actually trailer stuff. I'm not sure that the Liebherr can. I don't think I've ever tried it with the Liebherr, but I bet you could. Now look how fast that filled that up. Wow. You know, a couple more scoops and that thing's full. So, yeah, really cool piece of equipment. Great looking. This tractor is really nice. Now, so what does it offer that the Liebherr doesn't offer? Well, I think the Liebherr is going to be, it has that issue where the bucket gets crooked. This thing looks really, you know, look at that. There's no movement at all. As this thing goes up and down, that bucket's not coming loose at all like it does on the other one. So they've done some nice jobs fixing that. And you can also do logs. Once again, you could do the... this is cool. Wow. It's just a great looking mod. All right, so let's go on and check out the telehandler. We're going to have to buy a couple telehandler pieces. In fact, let's grab... I don't think I really... Maybe I do have some bales. So you go into telehandler's menu, and we will grab the round... There should be a round bale, a wrapped bale handler. That's what we want. We'll play around with that. Maybe a manure fork. Nah. I don't like this log fork. I think it's too loose. So maybe they fixed that, but I haven't played with it for a while. And we'll also grab... we'll just grab the one. This guy can also get a bucket. So, wow, look at this thing is really cool looking too. Look at that. Oh yeah, you turn the second light, the second stage lighting turns on the lights on the front. Look at that. Oh, it's glorious. Now, unfortunately, this is a split steer, which I don't, once again, it's a little, the camera, like doing this with the camera, that's a little clunky to me, but that's how they decided to do it. So, reverse light, hazards, just like everything else. They've done a very nice job on this one. A little smaller sounding motor. And so let's go ahead and grab our front. I'm going to drive inside. Oh yeah, that's really weird. Put that down. I don't know how anybody does this inside with the... Okay, we're going to grab this. Whoa, boing. Now, we're going to put this guy out as far as it'll go, so is that it? That's it, huh? Let's take a look outside. Wow, that's a pretty short... I feel like the other one can go a lot farther. Now, you can see here the baler is kind of moving a little bit as we do it. I don't know if I necessarily love that, but no backup beeper. Okay, just a second. Okay, so... Sorry, my kids needed help, so I got interrupted a little bit. Yeah, cool. Look at the animations. I wish this went out further, though. That's really kind of silly that that's as far as it goes. But okay, that's really cool. Look at the animation underneath was where I'm trying to see. Watch right under there at the top left of my screen. Look at all that. That's really cool. All those moving parts. It's pretty detailed. So let's compare this. What I'd like to do for this one, because, we should probably compare it to the competing tractor here. Let's go in here, and we're going to take a look at the telehandlers. This guy's $79,000 versus 85 the Liebherr. So here we have a little bit cheaper unit. It's 145 horsepower versus 122. So this is a better bang for your buck, possibly. Though this one is the better. This one has definitely a longer reach. I'm not sure why you'd need much of a longer reach than what this has, but if I put this out, oh, I love that shutdown sound too. That was cool. If I put this out like this, okay, grab the Liebherr. Park them side by side. We're going to put that arm up. And we're going to stick it out. Oh, yeah. I mean, so you can see here. And actually from base, if we park base to base, though, and put them straight up like this is, hop over in this guy. We can see just how much higher the Liebherr reaches. And when you're dealing with an 8-bale stack, well, that JCB just might not cut it. I mean, you're at the limit of the reach. That's, you know, really close, whereas the Liebherr won't have any problems getting to the top of that stack. This guy might have an issue. So, keep that in mind. I mean, now both of these would be able to load logs into a trailer. So if you had your logging trailer, well, then it's not an issue for that portion with either of these. But for doing the super high bale stacks that you get when you stack 6 or 8 bales on top of each other, the Liebherr is probably the better choice for your farm. So let's go ahead and run this guy down. I'll be right back with you. Yeah, look at this. These models are so well done. They fit right in game. Superb textures. This is just impressive. I really. There's no way that I can say, even after not using, just with the equipment that I've tried so far. You know, and obviously I'll add any annotations if I find anything different. But I'm impressed. I haven't found anything yet that I've been like, this made it not worth the money. I mean, really, these are definitely all for $9. Let's take a look here. Actually, I want to go over. We're going to go over to look at those square bales because I want to see if my theory was true. See how tall those are. So let's put this arm up, and we're not going to be able to grab them because I don't have the right attachment. Maybe I should have grabbed a bale spike, but yeah, like I said, we are. Well, no. It looks like that bale spike would just. No. Oh no! Looks like it would just be able to reach that top bale. So that was like dominoes. Now it's not a big deal because I don't save these games. These are all. This is my test farm, so this all gets reset anyway when I'm done. But oops. All right, so look, we're definitely at the top of this one. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7 tall. So that 8th one, though, I mean, you'd have to angle it up a little bit to hit that 8th bale, and then look at that, and then pick it up and then move it off, and that's risky. That's definitely risky. So your Liebherr might be better for that kind of job, but for the round bales, this is perfect. And once again, for lumber, it's fine, too. So if you want to save a little money, this might be an alternative. Sold all the cows. There's no more cows. Where are the cows? Send in the cows. All right, so we're going to retract that. Put it down. Good. And I'm going to grab the bale and pick it up. Nice. Cool. Try to wiggle it around and see if it'll come loose. Nope. It ain't going anywhere. I want to... Oh, you know what we decided? The cows have decided and voted that they want the bales to be on the roof. So we're going to take our... Whoa! Okay, that did it. Did you see that? No, I think part of it was that I pressed the wrong direction and loosened the bales handler. So it's a little awkward. Awkward. All right, so we're going to close this. Flip this up. The joys of driving with a joystick. It usually works really well, but dang it, I did it again. All right. Anyway, despite my ineptness, well, we'll try one more time. This is it, though. Sorry, we're already off to a rocky start here. Roll that guy out. So if we can get this down, get this to pick it up, flip it up, and we're going to raise it. And this time we're going to put this out straight without unloosening those. There we go. Okay, much better. Just have to get used to there's so many different controls, you know. All right, we're going to put a bale on the roof. There we go. And it's going to roll right off, but we can do it. So this is a cool tool, and I think it's going to be a nice addition to your farm. Like I said, it doesn't really add any new groundbreaking technology to the game. None of these do. They're the same things that are already here, but they're fun, and they're nice. And like I said, this one definitely is a nicer tractor than the Liebherr as far as the arms not getting wanky when you mess with it. So that makes a big difference, and, you know, it's cool stuff. So, oh, it's getting dirty. It's good stuff. Look at that. That looks cool. This little guy, too, he's getting dirty. Awesome. All right. So, let's take a look now at the skid steer. Now, there's nothing really to compare this little guy to, but wow, what a cool little tractor. Down to the, listen to the little guy. See the gauges. Got your gas gauge up at the right. Nice rear view mirror right on the back there. Doesn't really show much. Let's see if we can back up into the building if we get enough warning to stop. Oh, getting close to the edge. Cool. Stereo, heating and cooling. We've got this emergency breakout window. Love the interior of this cabin. It really looks like the inside. Got our little lap brace. And the controls, rear view mirror. Very nice. On the outside, we have, oops, sorry, wrong button. We're going to turn our lights on. There is no hazard light, or no up top light, so we just have the headlights. Get your hazards. And then you have your rear lights. And that would be sufficient for what this little guy has and what he does. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Now, doesn't really, you know what, that's a pretty tall reach, actually. I'm impressed with the reach. I don't think this is going to be high enough. The downside is I don't think this is going to be high enough to really do anything with the log trailer. So even though it's got this, the coolest thing that's added, I think, in this mod, oh, it's so cool how it turns, is this log grappler, the silage thing, and the bucket. You know, these are all cool mods. They really are. Now, does this have a trailer hitch? Nope, so you can't pull a trailer. The stump grinder is cool, but it's not necessary. But this log, the most interest to me was this huge log grabber. I mean, that's really cool. But the problem is, I have a feeling that if I get, okay, so let's do this. Just a second. So what I wanted to show you here is this. Now, with this cart, if we were to chop it up and move the arm off, and then, oops, I'm driving like a madman. We were to put a log into here, and this length would probably be realistic for this little tractor, then no problem. I can get the log right over this thing and, oops, you know, turn it, dump it out, and it goes in there. But the issue is if you have a full logging rig, like over here, this big trailer and tractor, like if you have the truck set up with the logging rig, well, now you got a problem because the skid steer is not going to be able to get its arm high enough to get over the top of this truck. Well, that's an issue. That's a big problem. Now, if we look in our mods, I've done a review on this before. There is a forestry trailer. Let's see. This Flegel. This guy's great. We could also try maybe one of these Maz trucks. Or Gaz. Ural, sorry, not Maz. So if we come over to Yeah, this download mod Ural is low enough that I could get the log over the top and then, oops, and then you could fold it down in. So it would be useful for this. So really the only trailer, unfortunately, that it can't work with is the one that comes in game. Whoops, and I'm hooked. Can I go up any higher? No, that's it. Can I get off? Okay, good. So you can see there's issue number one. And when you're operating with the arm that high too, it's kind of a problem. But you can't use it with that trailer. That's a bummer. And over here with our Kroger Fliegel, we can use it. This is nice because this trailer is not so high. So I can come over here and I can put this in and dump my log. So let's go ahead and do that. Because really I think that's the biggest innovation that this brings to the game. All the other stuff is cool, but it's stuff that's already done in-game. The only thing we don't have is a little log loader like this. And then the other thing too is it's got that great stump grinder. Now the problem is you're going to have to get a truck with a lowboy so that you can transport this thing around with all its attachments. We got a shovel, bale spike. So once again, this is a good multi-purpose on the farm. And the really great thing is that it's not overly expensive. If we go into the brands again, with the attachments are kind of expensive, especially the stump grinder, but it's still cheaper than the in-game stump grinder. Our little fella here is only $50,000. So you could get this with the log fork and the stump grinder and do some serious forestry along with that modded Kroger Fliegel and have a nice rig for logging and even stump grinding. And you could do it all for the price of, let's see here, where is the next competitor? The next competitor up is going to be, oh my goodness, the Power Star at $64,000 with no arm, no attachment. So this thing's going to cost you $20,000 approximately more. Seth is playing World of Tanks and getting smushed. Than the skid steer. So this costs more. However, you can do more with this, but it's going to cost overall with the arms and everything and the stump grinder. And you really can't even use the stump grinder with this tractor because it's so small that the stump grinder will pull it over. I mean, you could use it, but it's going to be tough to do. So if you're into logging or you're getting into logging, this is a cheaper way to go by about $20,000. So that's nice that we have this option now. And this is really, to me, what makes this mod really worthwhile, because now you're dealing with something that is different that you didn't have in the game before. That makes it a game changer. Plus, the other thing too is if you're doing your manual silage loading into your cow mixer, it comes with this huge silage scooper, which I don't think you had in game before either, though there might have been one for the telehandler, but it just gives you another option there. So I think this is cool. So let's go ahead and do some logging with this guy. All right, so I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. We're going to cut this tree down, Husqvarna style. Should fall to the left. There we go. It took me a while to figure out the controls. And I would say probably need to cut that in half. It's a little long. Very exciting. We'll be back. All right, so I'm driving my little skid steer over to the logs that I've cut. Sliding all over the place. Man, it is a skid steer. Pretty hefty little thing, though. All right, so we're going to do our loggy fork. So we should be able to pick this up, turn it that way, open it up, turn it down a little bit more. If this works like the other ones, you should be able to put this down and scoop it in. Nope, it's not working quite the same. So, interesting. I wonder if we just go under it like this. Will this work? No. So we do have to grapple it. I just have to figure out how to do it with this. I've seen it done. I know it can be done. I think we have to get a little more lined up straight with the log. But nope. So I need to, I think, even more angle. We'll try that. So we'll go up, go this way, and that's it, huh? And we'll try this. It's getting closer. The heck? There we go. Okay. And now we have the log grappled. Not super happy with it, though. Now we're going to try again. I definitely need to be more towards the middle. So far, not real impressed with the way it works. Should reach down and grab it. That's pretty good right there. Okay, and then if we loosen it, it should roll back, and then we can snap it shut. There we go. Okay, that's good. Good enough. And the log is too long for the trailer. So we're going to line it up here. We're going to take a look and see what we got. And of course, we're driving like crazy because it's going to be, we just got to lower the load. You should never carry a load above, obviously, the tractor, because that makes it unstable. So here we go. Ah! How often do you do that? I'm playing with my joystick, and there we go. All right. That didn't look like it did it quite right there. Come on, let's see if this will cut. There we go. Voila. All right, now this log should be the right size. Know your trailer. I'm used to loading the big honking truck trailer, and this one's a little bit smaller. So there we go. So not without a little bit of difficulty there at first. I think once you get the hang of how this thing handles. Oh, this one has a backup beeper. Listen. Nice. Once you get the hang of how to use the grabber, it gets a little bit easier. But had to get that down pat. So I will say I think that the tractor one still works a little bit better. Gotta tell you. But this is still really cool, and I like it, and it works. It's not. I think the tractor one just seems to grab those logs a little bit easier than this is. I don't know if you have to push this up against something maybe, because it looks like it should grab, but because of the physics of this game, and that's one thing that I really make. I don't want the logs to be stickier, but I want them to have some weight to them. A big log like this, you should be able to roll up on it, and then it should have roll up. It just shouldn't be that hard to get onto the. Will that grab it? Nope. Interesting. So I think we found a snafu in our little review here. So that does, points off for that for sure. Wow, that's really difficult. That's not a good thing. That should be a lot easier to do. And once again, if you use the tractor log picker-upper, I'm not saying the other ones aren't as bad, because the one for the telehandler that's in-game is terrible. But these need to be a little bit longer. Even if they aren't in real life, they need to make them a little bit longer so that they can actually, there we go. They can actually pick the log up like that. That's a little bit difficult. It works, but it doesn't work great. And I really want it for a paid add-on. I want it to work like perfect with no flaws like that. So points off there. I still like it though, and I am going to use it on my farm. Log's too short. So last log thing here, and then we should be all set. We'll check those tractors one more time, see how dirty they got, and that'll be it for the review. So, is it worth the money? Well, I think, the amount, like I said, once again, if you consider that you're getting 5 tractors plus a bunch of cool attachments, I would say yes, I think it is worth the money. Now, could it be perfected? I think, as we've seen here with this little guy, there are a couple issues, and they should be addressed. Hopefully Giants will address them, but the way that they've been doing things lately, I have my doubts. I'm not going to hold my breath on them actually fixing some of the bugs that we're having, because they don't seem to do that. They seem to just kind of let things go. And at first they were doing a great job. It seemed like there were a bunch of patches came out, and it was like, hey, we patched this, we patched this, we did this, we did this, and then it's been 6 months and we haven't heard a thing from them. So for whatever reason, they're kind of abandoning us, aside from adding DLC here. Well, anyway. So we'll see. But is it worth it? I'd say yes. Except for a little bit of disappointment with how the log handler works. I think this is a cool unit, and I really think it adds a lot to the game. Plus, you get all those tractors, and you're getting the telehandler and everything. It's worth it. So, is it the greatest thing ever? Well, no. And like anything, it's not perfect, but it's better than a lot of the mods out there. And you probably, as you can imagine, now that these are out, we are going to see a lot of mods revolving around them. Somebody somewhere is going to make one of these with longer, a little bit better handling. You know it's coming. And it'll be out, probably before the end of the week. By the time you guys watch this review, be sure to check the mod forums, because I can almost guarantee that a repair for exactly what I'm talking about will be out there, and you can just download that mod for free and get it fixed. So let's go ahead and grind this stump up. Ooh, this makes it a little bit top heavy there. I guess that's to be expected. Let's see, how do we turn this guy? There we go, it's on. So let's grind some stumps. Ooh. Sweet. You can pivot it, that's cool. Voila. Okay, so that works really well. I like it better than the other stump grinder. So, and it looks like you can also, does it pivot back and forth? Yeah, look, you can slide it back and forth. Very nice. You can move it up and down, and then you can move the whole unit up and down. Very handy. That's cool. Cool stuff. All right, let's check out the tractors. Let's see how dirty they got. Blah. That is dirty. Dirty tractor. Let's check on the little guy. He, too, is covered in filth as he plows under my crop. Awesome. So they look great dirty, too. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this review. So once again, I'm going to give it 8 stars out of 10. Great looking equipment, lots of different options, decently priced, gives you new options in the game, and it also, expands the game a little bit with this little guy. However, didn't get a perfect score because obviously some of the equipment doesn't work as well as it should, especially the log picker upper. I'm a little disappointed because that really is why I bought this. I was very excited about that new log grabber, and unfortunately it just does not live up to the ease of use that the normal tractor grabber has. Is it horrible? No. I want to make that clear. I'm not saying that it's the worst thing ever. It could be better. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this long review, and have a great night.